you got to do is breathe. Everybody come on in. It is time for Wellness Wednesday on the Own Your Now show. I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
I am your co-host, Yolanda Langford, and they call me Lady Yo. And I'm going to be the first to say, good evening, Divine T.
Good evening, Lady Yo. How are you?
Life is beautiful. Girl, what about this weather today?
My gosh, it is absolutely beautiful. I said, let me come on into the office and get me some of this sunlight. I had literally had my sunroof on. I was like, okay, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling
Yeah, I had my sunroof open today, and you know me, what I do when the weather is very nice, what do? Put my hands in the soil.
Did you?
I did.
All right now. Well, look, I
I
got to ask
did.
you, what's in your cup? I'm seeing everybody tuning in. We already got a full house, y'all, but and we're gonna make sure that we give our shout out so we can see who all is in here. But Lady O, you done been out in the soil. You're putting it out there. What's in your cup? What you sipping on?
Honey, I had to go with some good old St. Louis H2O. I'll tell you, just out in the yard while I was in my planters, preparing them and prepping them for what's to come, the beautiful flowers to come. But just get a little thirsty, so I just stuck with water all day. How about yourself?
Man, I've been drinking a lot of water myself. But look, I got on my shirt, black, no sugar, no cream. And in my cup, I got me some coffee because, we're used to coming on in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? It's evening, but I got to stay strong for all of my folks. So, yes, I'm sipping on my black coffee, y'all. No sugar, no cream.
I have a question, Tracy. Did you ever put sugar and cream in your coffee, or were you always just a straight up black coffee girl?
Well, when I used to be out in the streets and I used to do spoken word, I used to sip tea. That's how the divine tea thing came
Yes.
for my voice. But when I was drinking coffee, my mom, she would put a little bit of cream, but for the most part, she was drinking it black. She had to get up in the morning, and I would sip on her coffee, and it was black, no sugar, no cream. So every so often, I now they have all these flavors. So I love hazelnut, the syrups. I like the
Yes.
so I like the hazelnut, those little lattes and stuff like that. But outside of that, yeah, I
Straight up black.
straight up black. All right, y'all. It is time for wellness room shout outs. And let's see who was the first to come on the scene. Aziza Bitty, Coach Aziza. How you doing, Z? What are you sipping on? Let us know. I bet she was out here in the streets because boy, when she get in her car, she be rolling.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. Our number one man, the Vidal Phillips. He is
Yes, sir. He has so many great things going on. We're so proud of you. We always say we are the community aunties, and this is our nephew. So when you see his name in big lights, just remember he started with us.
That's right. He always has our back, y'all. We love him. And of course, our own Robert Jackson. What you sipping on, Robert? How you doing? He be looking for us. When Lady O, we were gone for Valentine's Day. Did you have a good time?
I did. I had a good time. I'm all about love. So that's just another excuse for me to celebrate love. I did have a good time. I went out to dinner. Of course, had little gifts and trinkets for folks. But you know me, I'm a crafter. So everyone who got a gift from me was a crafted gift.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I love it. I
How
love
about yourself? Did you celebrate or did you lay low?
it. So Nate had just got back from the Super Bowl, which we're not talking about the Super Bowl in our house. Hey, Miss Deborah. Miss Deborah was looking for us last week also. She literally said she was looking for us.
We're here now.
And we're here now, but he came back and he came in strong. If you know me, the other thing that I love is chocolate covered strawberries. So he made sure I had my chocolate covered strawberries, girl. And
That's a good hobby.
hard, and my hubby bear was back, and I was cool. I had
Yeah, you know what? We normally don't go out on Valentine's Day because it's always so crowded and things of that sort. But we ventured out and it was fine. We went to our favorite restaurant, and I did enjoy getting out and about. But also I love cooking, so it would have either way it would have been great with me, as long as I'm with the people that love me and I love them. So, but I'm glad you got your chocolate covered strawberries.
yes, thank you. And then we had Valentine's Day, celebrating with my daughters. You went out, you and your baby girl. I saw y'all.
Yes, we celebrated Valentine's Day. It is I like Valentine's Day because normally if you do Valentine's it's with your significant, but I do like us celebrating us girls. We are awesome and we love each other. The rumor mill makes you think we don't.
That's right.
But we do, and we love to shine the light on each other and just, take that moment to say, I love you. I see you. I'm proud of you, my Galentine.
Speaking of Galentine's, like that Saturday, I think it was Saturday, Joy Reed came in and
Yes.
came over and she brought me chocolate covered. Everybody know I love chocolate covered strawberries, and she makes the homemade kind with the drizzle and the bark. I just people who know you and know what you like, we appreciate that. We
Oh,
do.
yes.
And so I just got to shout out anybody that has a Galentine. Y'all shout them out. It's February. We still talking about love and all of that. But we also make sure we talking about wellness and the purpose, y'all. We have Nikia Montgomery in the house. She's going to be tapping in. We can see her backstage. She's going to be popping up. And hopefully Robert Nelson will be popping up. We hopefully he'll be able to get in. Of course, we're waiting on him. And so we're going to have a good time tonight, and we won't keep you all long, but we want to make sure that we're all about purpose. So if you guys are not following us some of us are tapping in on YouTube and some are tapping in on Facebook. Make sure that you all connect with us because we are right there at 8.6.
Yes, yes. And if you get the opportunity, please go on your Facebook page and invite your friends to join us as part of the Own Your Now show. And that's going to help us out. Plus, they'll get to see all the good stuff you see.
Yeah. We got to share. Share the love. Share the wellness. Share the wellness.
Share
So
the wellness.
our first guest, and
Yes, we are.
he said our second guest might come in, and if not, we'll work it out. But go right ahead. Let us know who is our first guest.
Our first guest is a lovely young lady that I've had the pleasure of knowing, I think almost 30 years. We're not 30 years old yet, though, but I think it's been about 30 years. Her name is Nikia Montgomery. She is the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Belonging Director at Catalyst Inc., but her heart is with the Lupus Foundation, and she has turned her test into a testimony. Good evening, Nikia.
Good evening, ladies. Look, I'm just backstage absorbing all this energy that you all have, and I'm cheesing and smiling and just happy to be here. So thank you so much.
We are happy to see you because you brought it tonight, girl. Yes.
We're trying to got to keep up with you ladies.
And I love those glasses, but I got to ask you, what's in your cup? What are you sipping on?
So, Miss Divine Tea, I actually am taking a page from your book. I have some coffee with a little caramel macchiato creamer in there. I felt like, oh, that sounded a little sweet and perfect. So that's what I got tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I want to know more about lupus. As I was saying, that a lot of times when you have a disease that people can't see with their eyes, they have a hard time grasping what it's all about. So for us neophytes, talk to us and tell us, what is lupus?
Absolutely. And you phrased it perfectly. That's why one of the secondary names is the cruel, mysterious disease, because it is invisible. I look perfectly normal. I look like nothing has impacted me. But this chronic autoimmune disease called lupus is one that can impact any part of your body, your joints, your skin, any organ within your body. And you can go through something called a flare up. And it causes this inflammation in those places in your body. And so with this disease, what it is chronic. So there is no cure for it, which is why I'm really big in sharing my testimony and being an ambassador for the disease. It generally impacts women, minority women. We are impacted 3 times more than white women. And so it's really important for us to be knowledgeable about this because it looks like so many different diseases and it can be difficult to diagnose.
Wow. So you're an advocate for lupus awareness. What age did it impact you? And what age? Tell us about your experience.
Absolutely. Going back, I was in high school I was a junior when I got my official diagnosis. That came behind doing, I did a senior skip day with my then boyfriend. And so I woke up the next day with all these
Skip
aches and
day.
pains. Um, and, you get whipped around at Six Flags and you're thinking, okay, I'm young, it's nothing. I probably just pulled something. But that's where my journey and my story with lupus started, because that was actually my body waking up in this flare state that I didn't know about. So it took a while for them to really give me my official diagnosis, going through several different physicians and not really being able to identify what was impacting my body, because I was having chronic headaches, lost the use of my limbs. My left arm was not usable. Then that came back. Then my right arm wasn't usable. That came back. And so it was really these freak instances that was leading my mom to, and myself to worry, like, what's happening with my baby? Finally, going into the end of my junior year, I got the official diagnosis that what I was battling with was lupus, and I have systemic lupus specifically.
So what leading up to it, looking back, did you say, oh, when my arm hurt, I just thought I slept wrong? Or, I know you said the Six Flag experience right after that, but was there something prior to that? Did you feel anything? Or did your doctors, even when you went for your yearly checkup, did they say anything?
Absolutely not. That's what was so odd about it. I honestly, when I started to go through what was considered renal failure for me at the time, I was actually totally normal, totally fine. So when we fast forward from the Six Flags event, now I'm in my senior year. And from those instances where I was having these sporadic pains and these sporadic headaches, we kind of chalked it up to, okay, this is some kind of fluke. Yes, I thought I had slept wrong or maybe moved my neck in the wrong way, and everything came back to me. But it was probably September of my senior year now, where I've gone all this time. Everything's quiet. It's dormant. And I'm living my best life. I'm about to graduate and doing all these great things. We're top dog at school, and I'm just excited. And I started to have symptoms that seemed very similar to a 24-hour bug. I was nauseous. I couldn't keep anything down, was really weak and just really tired. And again, hard-headed teenager, it's nothing. I'm going to go about my business and I'll be fine in the next day. The next day turned into 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
And so at that point, my mom was really concerned, and she's like, you look peaked, and you see all this chocolate melanin, right? For this skin to look peaked, she was really worried. So we went to urgent care and ended up closing down urgent care, only for them to tell me, you need to go to the emergency room. Your daughter is in renal failure, and we aren't equipped to help her, but we need to get her to the emergency room as quickly as possible. And when I got there, that was when I officially was told, you are having a lupus flare and your kidneys are now being compromised. And so I was losing kidney function. And so it just happened that quickly and that sporadically to me.
Well, go ahead, Tracy.
No, I have several friends, and one friend in particular, her mom was diagnosed years ago, and then later she was. Is that normal, or what does that typically look like? I mean, because I know it affects your immune system, but is there a test that we can get to find out more about that?
I'm glad you asked that question, because that's one of the reasons why I'm such a huge advocate for lupus, because we've come such a long way. When I was diagnosed, there was this blue sheet, and they literally called it the blue sheet. And so there was a list of different symptoms, different things that they looked for to diagnose you. And if you didn't have those items that were on that particular sheet, then they would say, well, no, it's not lupus. So my diagnosis, taking about 7 to 8 months to officially diagnose me, was actually quick. There are women who suffer for decades and do not get diagnosed because it looks so different in every person, as well as it looks so much like so many other diseases. There is something called a DNA antibody test that is the truth test that physicians will go to look at that. And there's certain levels of white blood cells that you should have. And so they're looking at that along with something your protein levels, things of that different nature. So it's all through labs and blood work, but it's really important for my Black and brown sisters to listen to your body. When you know that there's something wrong and you don't feel like yourself, many physicians will tell you, oh, no, no, you're fine.
Mm.
Us accept that.
You are
Continue to press them because I have a friend who has lupus, and for years, she actually was suffering since she was about 10, 12 years old. Did not get a firm diagnosis until she was in her teens because doctors were telling her it was in her mind.
Ooh.
And so it's so important for you to really just recognize and own your body and how you feel.
like
And if that physician doesn't listen to you, you go to the next physician.
put that in the chat. Somebody own your body. Because
Own your body. You have to be an advocate for yourself, and parents, we have to be advocates for our children and our loved ones, because a lot of times with diseases, you don't look the part. I mean, I've heard many women say that because they don't look like they're in pain, or they think that women of color may be able to endure more pain, that we don't get that attention that is necessary to discover what is really going on. So I love that you said that. But let me tell y'all something. I've known this young lady a long time, and what you see with that smile, that beautiful skin, is everything. And so I want you to share with us. I mean, you had that disease as a young girl. How did you stay so positive? Because every time I see you, you are just spewing positivity.
Absolutely. I have to give this to my family, my mother and my sisters, and my faith in God. Those are the things that have always gotten me through. This is a lot of mind over matter. You know, when you're really, really sick and you have to find
Mm.
that oomph to push you through and to get you over, that's where I can continue to have joy. I can continue to know that this is not permanent. This is just a time and a space. And so my mother told me something when I was first diagnosed, and I have to give her all this credit because even now, if I go through something difficult, her words to me echo in my mind, and it is, don't ask why me, ask why not me. And led me to understand you have already been equipped with all of the strength that you need in your little body to get you through any and everything that's going to come into your life. And so, as I've battled this disease from 17, and it has continued to rear its ugly head in different ways. I have skin, scars on my skin because it's infected my skin, and I have lost some of my vision. So while I'm rocking these cute glasses, there's certain things that I have to do differently now because lupus impacted my sight. I've lost my hair before, and ladies, we love our crown, right? That's
Yeah.
that's what we rock. That was really hard for me. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna find me a good Betty, put this good wig on, and keep moving it my one foot in front of the next. And
Yes.
my sisters, these are the people that helped me laugh through my trauma. That my sister, my youngest sister Tanisha, she has driven in the middle of the night from Chicago when she lived
Mm.
far away to be by my bedside when she heard something was happening to me with my lupus. So God doesn't make mistakes, and he put me in the hands of people who knew that they could carry me through this disease. And so those are where I get my strength, those two places.
can I just say that this is why we do this show. Like, this is the part that I love so much. I was literally talking to Vidal. I called him like one of our producers about our why. And Vidal always asks, "Are you having fun?" Because for me, everything is around purpose. And Lady O, she always tells you we're not reporting any bad news. It has to have value, and your journey, your testimony, you owning your now, that's what it's all about. And like, you are a survivor. I'm looking at this. L'Oreal's like, own your body. You're a survivor. Kim says, yes, a beautiful person inside and out. And, Mrs. Deborah says, you look great. And the thing about
Yes.
it is, this is one of those diseases. It does impact men as well. Robert says Nick Cannon suffers from lupus, but
Mm.
this is the side you don't look and see it.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right.
Those are the things that we have to be aware of. You never know, Lady O, what people are going through.
True. Yes, yes, indeed. You know, Nikia, before we let you go, I know people may have questions. We'll keep shooting them towards you. But, you know, the Lupus Foundation, give us a little bit of information about the Lupus Foundation and how people can contact them for support.
Absolutely. You know, we have different chapters across the nation. Locally, we have the Lupus Foundation Heartland chapter. And so that's for both St. Louis and Kansas City. And this is a great place to plug in. When you talk about being in the right place at the right time, I had no idea about the Lupus Foundation. I thought I was the only one that ever dealt with this disease. You know, I'm young and I heard it, and then you're living with it and you're just in the throes of it. I happened to just be in a place where somebody mentioned the Lupus Foundation, and that's how I got plugged in. And this became a place where I found my voice to be able to share my testimony, because you're right. I don't look sick. I don't look like there's anything wrong with me, but I have been through all types of disease of issues with this disease, and I'm still standing.
Yes.
And I decided to use my voice and my story to share with other women and men that the diagnosis is not the end. I've had a full and blessed life. I mean, just a couple years ago with my girlfriend, I'm skydiving. You know, I'm doing my thing, because you only get that one life and you have to make it the best that you can. So the Lupus Foundation has support groups that you just showed their information you can plug into. If you find that you are diagnosed and you want to connect with other women and men who are going through what you're going through and can speak with them about that, it's a great place to plug in. We are trying to be as big as breast cancer, because again, it is impacting that many people. There's 1.5 million Americans that are diagnosed with this disease. There are 5 million worldwide. And still people don't know what it is. And like I said earlier, it is impacting our Black and Brown sisters. And so we're always looking to get more supporters. We're looking for sponsors in our large St. Louis companies. Shout out, come help us get some money. Donations well received.
Mhm.
Um, and we also do some great fundraisers too. April 5th, we're actually doing what we do with our annual Purple Ball. And so this ball is one of our biggest fundraisers. And so we'll be having that. And so you can see that more information about that online on our site, as well as we do a big walk. And this is our second largest charity event that we do. It's in Creve Coeur Park. That's happening September 7th. You can create a team. You come out, you're fun. You put on your purple wigs, you put on your purple shirts. You know, you do everything you can to drum people up, and it's usually gorgeous weather, great things and fun for kids to come out. We have our local DJs that come. So those are ways that you can plug in. And as an ambassador, I'm always championing. You know, I'm trying to get on radio stations and do PSAs and just make sure that we are growing, and the knowledge about this disease is we're creating more awareness.
That's it. Awareness
All right.
is key. We have to keep sharing. That's why we're sharing. We do have a question before we ask you your wellness word of the day. Robert Jackson asked, is there one thing that triggers an attack?
Robert, you know, I wish that there were. That is one of the other things why this is labeled a cruel, mysterious disease, because there has not been a true indicator as to where then this inflammation and these flares happen. There has been some testing to see if it is actually genetic. And in some cases, in the time that I've been speaking out with this disease, I have met families where the mother and daughters both have it. I have myself, I'm kind of an anomaly, I think, in many factors of my health, but I'm the only person who has autoimmune disease in my immediate family. One of the things that they do say, you have a genetic predisposition to the disease. And so there's something in our genetic makeup that already exists and lies dormant. And so there can be something in the environment that they are saying that could actually be the catalyst to start it, as well as too much exposure to sunlight. That is one of the things that folks with lupus have to really worry about. So, you know, this beautiful skin does burn. And so
Yes.
affecting it. And so those are some of the things. So yeah, there's not one particular thing though that I could say, yep, this is the thing. Diet and exercise are always really important to folks that are diagnosed with lupus, because again, it's impacting your joints. So you want to make sure that you're healthy and strong. Yeah.
Well, you
All
know,
right.
advocacy looks like you making sure that you advocate for yourself as well as for your lupus sisters. And I mean, I'm ready for. I'm going to look into the walk,
Yes.
and make sure that we stay aware of these different issues that impact our community, impact our sisters. That's what being a keeper is all about. We always ask your wellness word of the week. You've given us so many great pointers, and we keep seeing your light. It's all about your light. What is your wellness word for the week?
I don't think that it's for the week. I think this is going to be for this year. And it's more of a phrase than a word. But peace of mind, that is really just what I had. I ended 2023 and came into 2024. And I am just taking in, if it doesn't bring me peace of mind and let me stay in that place, it's
Yes.
not for me.
It's not.
Yes.
Well, that's
Yep.
it. Peace of mind. We're gonna take it, and we're gonna tell you like your journey, and seeing you have a peace of mind by making sure you take care of yourself. What she say, own your body, y'all.
Yes.
Be advocates, because you know one of the things that I keep hearing every time I watch Grey's Anatomy is that they are practicing. These doctors don't know everything. They're
Practicing medicine.
right, and so we gotta
Absolutely.
remember that. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for saying yes.
That's it.
It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed being with you ladies. Thank you so much for giving me this platform.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, Lady O,
I told you.
she is amazing.
A joy, and she brings light into the conversation that could be a little heavy, but she brings light into it, and she says, hey, I'm living my full life. I'm living a vibrant life. She's jumping out of airplanes.
You know, Lady O, could you jump out of an airplane?
I want to. I never have. Have you?
No, I have budget. That's as close as I'm gonna get.
Hey, any owners, if you're out there, let us know. Have you jumped out of an airplane before?
We want to know. We want to know. Lady O was about to tell us what's going on in the loo, but you all make sure that you all start dropping your affirmation words, because we want to know what that affirmation word is, so that we can make sure that we stay connected. But Lady O,
Hey.
where do we start? Let's see. Where do we start? You tell
Well,
me.
you know what? I'm going to ask you a question. Do you see Robert in the green room?
I do not.
Oh, he said he's in, so that's why I was a little bit concerned.
No, I don't see him. And
Okay.
you could, if you want to check. I don't know exactly where he is. Oh, wait a minute. He is. He just popped up. Wait, y'all stop the press, because he did make it in, and we have another guest, and you all got to make sure that y'all uplift him, because he been trying his best, and it's all about what's going on in the loo. But we're gonna make sure that we bring him up right now.
Why do we get tickled? There he is. Hey, I have to give him a tiny intro. This is Mr. Robert Nelson. You're owning now. Yes.
I'm owning my now.
Yes, Mr. Robert Nelson is a jazz extraordinaire. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let him be about it. Good evening, sir.
How are you, ladies? It's so good to see you. And how do y'all always look so good?
Oh, you know what? Because we're drinking STO water, making sure
Okay.
have our
Well,
black.
I need some. Give me two of what you guys are having.
Sending it your way.
We talked about the fact that you are a jazz artist,
Yeah.
and part of that is making sure that your throat is right. So we got to ask you, what's in your cup? What do you normally sip on, or what you sipping on now?
Oh. Blues.
This is my cup.
I love it. I love it.
And because it's nighttime, I have a little tea and a little whiskey. Listen, I'm inside of a blues museum. I have to have whiskey with my tea, and it's after 5.
Absolutely.
That's it.
It's
Absolutely.
after 5.
Well, you know what? There is Joan Gray says my favorite Robert Nelson. Welcome.
Who
So you
says
have some
that?
Joan Gray. She's one of your fans, honey. She made
John Gray, I love you, my love. How are you?
Cynthia Boyd said a toast to Robert.
Oh,
That's it. That's it. Oh my.
well, you
hey,
know,
y'all.
people want to know
Thank
how
you
did
for all the
you?
St. Louis love.
It is well. You got some love from California too. Some of these folks are on our
Oh,
YouTube side, and
California knows how to party.
that's it. That's it. Well, let's talk
Oh,
about
California.
jazz. Let's talk about jazz. You always say you didn't choose jazz, jazz chose you. Talk to us about that.
I always tell you, girl, you ladies, rather, I'm sorry.
You're
I
fine.
always tell you, ladies, that you don't choose jazz, jazz chooses you. I've been singing my entire life, started in gospel music at maybe 6 to 8, maybe 8 years old, singing on a broadcast with an entire choir. I was a lead vocalist. I've been trained in at Alabama A&M University, but in my heart, in this space where I live, lives jazz, and it's no denying. I have tried to move away from jazz simply because a few years ago I was naive enough to think that no one wanted to hear it. I thought it was so rare, and I thought it was just something that people didn't want to hear. But I must allow jazz to live through me, and it's a thing. It's just a lifestyle. You don't get caught up in who the audience is and do they want to hear. This is just what jazz musicians do. This is what we do. So whether there's one or two or three people that we're performing for, or whether we're performing at a jazz festival in Montreux,
Wow.
this is what we have to do. Jazz musicians are playing in their kitchens while their children are eating cereal. Singers like myself, I'm singing in the grocery store and I don't even realize it. And people turn around and go, "Sir, you have a beautiful voice." I go, "You heard me." I'm like, "Thank you." You don't realize that you're doing this. It's like breathing.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's jazz lives in me. And if I don't let it go, if I don't release it and allow it and surrender to it,
Yes.
I'm dying inside.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I have a question. You know how well, for a lot of us, I'm all about wellness, and we wake up in the morning and we have our playlists of music that we listen to.
Yeah.
You sing? Is that your playlist, or who's on your playlist? Tell us some of
What
those.
did you say before that? You asked them?
Do you sing, or you your playlist? Like, do you just start humming what's coming to you for that day,
Got it.
or
Right now,
yeah, what's on your playlist?
I am listening to 1111, Chris Brown's new album. I think it's fantastic. And I tried to listen to the new Usher album, Coming Home, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm captivated by the 1111 album. It's incredible. Now, after last night, I had a rehearsal last night with Antonio Foster and Daruba and Scooter Brown, all of these jazz cats that I get to hang out with. And so right now I'm listening to the rehearsals. So when I'm brushing my teeth and taking shower, I'm listening to the rehearsal. I'm going like, I'm like, loosen up. So I'm coaching myself through it. I'm creating a vocal arrangement. So when I'm working, like I'm preparing for this weekend's performance, all I'm listening to is the rehearsal. All I'm listening to are the reference um, demos that the band created, and I'm listening to my own voice in rehearsal, and I'm fine tuning that. When the rehearsal is over this Sunday, I'll probably go back and I'll listen to some other things that I have been listening to, which would include Chris Brown. It would include, I'm stuck on this Billie Holiday, I Cover the Waterfront. It is the most gorgeous prayer, and then I'm listening to other music that I'm interested in recording. I'm listening to music that Ryan Marquez has sent me and saying, "Hey, Robert, listen to these songs and see if you can write to this." So my music playlist is very different.
Mm.
I have to listen to sometimes I don't get to listen for enjoyment anymore.
Do you, Lady O, have you all heard that Andre 3000?
Oh yes, yes. I've meditated to that.
I thought that would be a good one to meditate.
I've meditated to that. But there's another cat that I have been listening to the flute before Andre put this one out. No disrespect. I'm so glad that he did this because he brought awareness to the hip hop generation that already knew the
Right.
importance of meditation. But I have been listening to a flautist, and I am really stuck on his work. So I listened to Andre for a couple of weeks, and it was cool. I went back to where it was home for me.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, I don't get to listen to a lot of music for enjoyment. A lot of times I'm listening to music for consideration for a recording project. I'm listening to music from rehearsals. I'm listening to songs. I'm listening to, oh God, what is this lady? One of the jazz greats, a song that I'm interested in learning and different things. And
Y'all gonna
sometimes
have to follow him on. You're on, what is it? The Renaissance Magazine, right? On Facebook.
yes, follow Renaissance Magazine. Thank you. Follow Renaissance Magazine. It's all about culture, music, culture, lifestyle.
Okay. Okay. Now, you know, we have people, if we don't get this out, they will say Lady Yo and Divine T. They'll be calling us personally. You have something coming up. Talk to us about what's coming up, where it is, who's going to be there, what we can expect.
When I moved back to St. Louis and I surveyed the land, I created a list of all the places that I hoped to perform.
Mhm.
They included the Sheldon Theater and the Fox Theater and Blue Strawberry Showroom Lounge and National Blues Museum and the Dark Room and the Grandale. But at the top of that list was Jazz St. Louis. Jazz St. Louis is the beacon. It is the beacon for jazz artists in our region and nationally.
Yes.
It is incredible. It's my favorite place to go and have dinner and listen to music. On this Friday and this Saturday, incomparable Antonio Foster will be in concert. And there's the flyer. Antonio Foster, an incredible pianist,
He is.
arranger. He will be working. I'm going to say it. He's going to be producing most of my album. If not
That's
all
an
of it.
exclusive.
Antonio do the whole.
Tell them, Lady Yo, tell them.
That's an exclusive, y'all. You heard it here, owners. Antonio Foster is going to be producing the majority of Robert Nelson's album that we can't wait to come out.
Yes. Yes.
So they can see you this Friday and
go on the website. Go to Jazz St. Louis. Go on the website and you'll click the events and you'll see us. We'll be there this Friday and Saturday. All you need to do is click the link, pick yourself a table, a seat, wherever you like. Every seat in the house is fantastic. There's
Yes.
even a balcony. They have great food, great wine. The music is going to be fantastic. I'm going to be looking for you guys this Friday and this Saturday. We'll be taking care of the American Songbook, the American Jazz Songbook. So I'm very, very excited. He has a unit that is, it's sublime. Yeah, he's the one. There he is. That's a picture of him. He's the one.
is
Antonio
fantastic.
Foster.
Yes, yes. The perfect date. I mean, I know that the good thing about all this is the weather has been absolutely beautiful. So you all don't have an excuse. You can get your ticket. It's a lot happening this weekend.
yes.
Jump out there and
Yes.
go. I mean, like, you can have dinner and everything. And
Yes.
Robert's place is, let me tell y'all, it's butter. I promise you. I'm telling you, he's black excellence. Every time
Oh, wow.
he's in our space, he makes sure that he makes it happen. So
I was about to say, get your ticket. This will be an experience that you will go tell all your friends about, and then they will beat you next time to go see Robert Nelson. I guarantee you, he is definitely one of my family's favorites. We try to be in the house when he's performing, and it's just don't get me wrong, something sexy about the whole thing.
whole vibe. I promise you
when
feel
when I first started performing, the ladies, they came to me, they said, we really like your music, we like your vocals. They said, but I said, you dress like you're going to church.
Well, I love it. You dress
wanted
like
me
a
to,
gentleman.
they
no.
wanted me to kind of loosen up. And when I did, wow, we started having fun. But jazz music encompasses all of that. You know,
Mhm.
jazz music encompasses raw emotion, and it encompasses us dance floor as well. You have to remember that this music started out as dance floor. It was the big band, and people were dancing. And so I think it's okay for us to have so much fun in jazz. I think it's okay for us to feel how we feel. If people call it sexy, I like to think of it as just confidence and just being happy in your skin in that
Yes.
moment. I think that comes off as confidence or sexy, and whatever it is, it's all of ours, and it's just another expression for us to just share because we all feel that way. And if
Yes.
you
Mhm.
don't, we want you to.
Yeah. At the show, you will.
And then if you won't, you will.
I have to ask because I think that you have a new position, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us about your new position because there's so much going on in St. Louis. We got to spread the love.
I am so excited that I have an opportunity to come on board at National Blues Museum. National Blues Museum, it represents African American heritage and culture in a way that we haven't really seen before. And for this place to be, for this museum to be right here in St. Louis,
It's beautiful.
where Joplin created ragtime music, and where W.C. Handy and St. Louis Blues. I mean, the culture and the richness. That's me. The culture and the richness that this museum represents is something that I need to be a part of. I have to do this for our city. I have to do this for the culture, for blues music, jazz music, gospel music, hip hop music, for country music, which is Black culture.
It is.
This has to be a place that has Black leadership, a place that will honor and protect our heritage
Yes.
with pride and with excellence. And so I'm here, uh, and I'm here to do the work, and I'm here to share this place with the community and open the doors so that everyone in our region knows that this place is here and it's for our culture. And we're willing to
Absolutely.
share that with the world.
Mhm.
We're ready to share that with the world.
It's a
But
beautiful venue too. I celebrated my birthday there.
yeah, I thought you were gonna say a number. It was the
I'm not,
most
honey. I'm not
beautiful.
ashamed. I celebrated my 57th
Oh,
birthday there. I love getting older. It is an honor and a blessing. And Robert performed, and let me tell y'all, I thought he was just performing for me.
Well, every time he sings certain songs, you're like, yeah, that one was for me. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
that's it,
I
y'all.
appreciate that. Well, I'm
Don't have
always
to leave the
thinking
city.
about
Y'all.
you
You got
guys.
everything right here.
I'm always thinking about you guys, and I want what we do to be real. And I want you guys to feel, and I want it to come from the heart, and it comes from the love that the women, particularly women of color here in this city, have really just said, brother, do your thing. We're going to support you, and you work it out, and we're here with you. And because of the love, we have been able to grow. Our confidence has increased, and we're doing things to make sure that we represent and we give back that love in a large way. And
That's it.
I'm St. Louis's own native son. We will do things all over the world, but this is home, and we represent this culture here from St. Louis, and I'm so honored to do that.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Now we have to ask, what is your wellness word of the week?
Everybody start putting your wellness word in the week. And then we'll be wrapping up with our It's a Vibe, what's going on for the weekend. But put that wellness word in the week. What is yours, Robert? Our guest, she said hers was peace of mind. She gave us 3 words. We asked
I
her,
heard that.
she gave us 3, but that's all right because that's necessary. But what is yours for the week?
She was fantastic, and I send love to the sister. She talked about lupus, and I lost my best friend from high school from lupus, and his sister subsequently, and they weren't even 21 or 22 years old. And I lost an uncle, so I listened to your session with her, and I really appreciate what she had to share with us. And so, my wellness word for the week Is that right? For the
It could be
week?
for the
For
week,
the week.
for the year, if you want it to be.
It's trust.
Mm.
I'm trusting in God. Things are moving so fast and there's so much work to do. We have so much before us, and we've asked for so many opportunities to represent Black culture. And the time is now, and it is happening in real time. And I'm just grateful that I have you guys and people like you who support the movement. And my word is trust, because I have to trust God. Every day I feel like I'm walking, taking a step, and sometimes I'm not even sure if there will be a foundation there. And
Mm.
so I'm just going into rooms and going into places, and I'm going like one in front of the other, one in front of the other. And I'm like, will there be a foundation there? And there has always been a foundation there. In every
Gotta
room that I
trust.
walk,
That's it.
in every room that I walk out of, I say, God, wow, thank you. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was favorable. And so my word is trust. I'm trust.
That's it.
All right. Well, we'll see you this weekend.
I love you guys. Thank
Love
you
you
so
back.
much.
Too. We love you too. Oh wow, everybody's dropping their word in the chat, but that's it. Woo, Lady O, you gotta trust. You gotta
You
trust.
do. We do.
We do. I needed that today. I know
Yes.
we still gonna get to there's a lot that's happening this weekend, Lady O. You wanna talk about some of those things before we wrap up with our wellness?
Sure. I'll make it short and sweet, and you can always go back and get the information. We'll post some information. On the 23rd, we have starting strong, a celebration of resilience. And it is going to be at View 17, 1054 South Brentwood. And they are supporting victims of crime. So, there's a lot going on in St. Louis, but there is help, and there are people who are there to help you. So go to Starting Strong, a celebration of resilience. On the 24th, they have Food on the Move, and it's a walk-through shopping style food distribution. They said you don't have to bring anything, you don't have to show any income. There's the information. You just come and get yourself some groceries. It's unbelievable how many food deserts are here in St. Louis. And the last but not least, because this is another owner, our very own Randy Starr will be at the Dark Room on Sunday. Her show starts at 5 p.m. The funny thing is she came on the show and talked about fitness, and I think she works professionally in finance, but honey, she can sing. So go see Robert and then skip on over to the dark room the next day and see our very own Randy Starr. So that's what's happening in the Louvre. It's a vibe.
Oh, I also wanted to make sure that people are aware of tomorrow. The Diamond Diva is having a state of an emergency panel discussion. It's about a conversation about domestic violence and the crisis against Black women that will be held at Harris Stowe. And so the information is on the Diamond Divas page. I wanted to make sure that so much is happening in our community and the news, and we got to make sure that we are advocates for making sure that wellness is the key, for sure.
Thank you for that, Tracy. Thank you for making sure we got that information in, because it's very important. A lot, like you said, is happening, and awareness is everything. And Diamond Diva, they are out there doing the work. I just love them, and they just bring so much to our community, so much support in all areas. They rental assistance, they have tutors for the kids, they have ways to help women and men get out of domestic situations. So shout out to them. I'm thankful, Tracy, that you brought it up.
When the Black Love, is that this week?
That's this weekend. Yes, the Black Love with the Fergusons. Black Loves Matter. And also tomorrow is Witten and Bradford Marcellus at the Chase. So come on. St. Louis has it going on.
Well, everybody has dropped their wellness words in, but Lady O, I haven't asked you your wellness word. We up here sipping. I almost feel like now I need to have an old fashioned or something. Drip some bourbon or some whiskey. Woo, my goodness. It might be pretty good.
Yes, indeed.
What is your wellness word, Lady O?
Dedication.
Dedication. I got it. Dedication.
Dedication, because we have so many irons in the fire, but you have to be dedicated. It has to be your passion. And all the irons can be in the fire, and there's some similarity that helps you to keep that dedication. So dedication is my word for the week.
Well, you know what? I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. I'm gonna. My word is light, and I think that as we move into the week and all the things that we have going on, we have to remember that the reason that we do this is because we want everybody to at least have a little peace of mind. We want us to balance things out, but you got to also trust the process, because when you trust the process, then you see what it looks like to be walking in your purpose and continue to be purposeful. And that's what it looks like when we know that we are whole. So we have to continue to push and persevere. We're going to continue to persevere through all these things, because when we do that, we feel that healing that we know is directly from God. And that's what it looks like. But we have to stay rooted in all things. And when we are rooted, we have this optimism of knowing that God has a plan for us. I'm going to continue to be dedicated, Lady Yo. I needed to hear that. And you're going to be dedicated, and whatever God has for us, he's going to make sure that he shows us what it looks like for us to be in the light. And that's how we're going to do it right here on the Own Your Now show.
I got to wish for peace, love, and positivity.
Remember, tomorrow isn't promised. So own
your now.
I am unstoppable. Let me